Before we get into this week's reactions, I just want to announce that First Thing in the Morning now has a Pro Wrestling Tees store. So if you want to get some gear and help support the show, you can do so by going to prowrestlingtees.com/FTITM and get the hottest t-shirt designs on the entire internet. Also, later on, I'm going to share something incredible that happened on last week's Kayfabe Today podcast, where one of the hosts predicted the future. So with that out of the way, my name is Eric, and let's get into Raw reactions first thing in the morning.
Where did you think you could go? Cause everyone already knows it's 20 to 1. Yeah, so you better run. You got the world on its knees. You take
Show kicked off this week with Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon, who are in the mid. What?
It started with a match.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Force of habit. Imagine that. A wrestling show starting with a wrestling match. We got a United States Championship rematch to kick off the show between Roman Reigns and Rusev. Now, early on, both men were trading offense back and forth, but it was Rusev who managed to gain the early momentum by targeting the injured back of Reigns. Rusev continued to work his slow, methodical heel style throughout the match, and he is actually quickly becoming one of my favorite heels in the entire company. Eventually, though, Reigns managed to get the upper hand and started to fight his way back into the match, and you just know McMahon was backstage.
Oh, Roman, oh, pal, look how strong he is.
Hashtag make Roman look strong. Now, this was a pretty long match. I'm talking 25-30 minutes, which for Monday Night Raw is a fucking eternity. And what do we get for those 30 minutes of action? A double countout. Now, I get why they did this. It protects both guys, it prolongs the feud, but after a 25-minute match on Monday Night Raw, a double countout felt a little disappointing, but regardless of that, I thought overall the match was pretty good. Rusev in particular looked pretty strong. Future WWE champion in my opinion, and like I mentioned earlier, one of the best heels the WWE has. After the match, the two continued to brawl on the outside. Rusev managed to bring in a chair and hit Roman Reigns a couple times with it, but you know, you gotta make Roman look strong, so he eventually speared Rusev and then beat him with a chair, and you know McMahon came his pants.
Oh, Rusev, oh, you got it. You tasted Roman's fury. Oh, pal, you gotta make Roman look strong, pal. You gotta make Roman look strong, pal.
I really love doing my Vince McMahon impression. Next up, we got Foley in the ring, and he wants to address the best of 7 series between Sheamus and Cesaro and proceeds to invite both of them down to the ring. Now, once they make it there, they both argue about which one was more dominant, and then Foley drops a bombshell. He announces that both men will be getting a championship opportunity. Now, what championship opportunity is that, you may ask? The Tag Team Championships. That's right, Cesaro and Sheamus will be joining forces to go after the WWE Tag Team Championships. Now, if you listen to the Kayfabe Today podcast, you'll know that my co-host, Elliot, predicted this, which led to me dubbing him Grapstradamus. That's right, boys and girls, the guy can see into the future. When Foley announced this, I was literally marking out on the couch, losing my goddamn mind all over Twitter. I simply couldn't believe that Elliot predicted this, and that's why he's the man that runs Kayfabe Today, and I'm honored to sit under the learning tree each and every week on the Kayfabe Today podcast, which you can conveniently find over at kayfabetoday.com. Cheap plug, bud. Next up, we had a WWE Tag Team Championship match between The New Day and The Club. Again, to determine who would defend their titles against Sheamus and Cesaro. Did anybody care about this match at all? Did anybody really think The Club was going to beat The New Day? The Club are confirmed geeks. We've seen that time and time again, and I'm honestly so sick of this pairing, I almost turned the show right off. Now, it's not that it was a terrible match, it's just we've seen it so many times, and the New Day always seem to win. I know the club have picked up maybe 1 or 2 victories, but it's always when it doesn't matter. It's always when the titles aren't on the line. So really, who fucking cares about this? Are you out there? Leave me a comment if you still care about this feud. One thing though, Kofi got busted wide open during this match and was bleeding profusely from his forehead, it seemed. Pretty gruesome stuff, but hey, blood equals ratings, and WWE desperately need those ratings. In the end, guess who won? Take a wild guess. Yeah, the New Day won yet again, therefore confirming once more that the club are geeks. Next up, we got Bayley against someone who WWE apparently kidnapped straight out of a local gym. Bayley won. Backstage now with that fuckface Mick Foley, who's trying to push his conspiracy on Stephanie McMahon, but Queen Steph is having none of it, and she quickly puts that fuckface in his place, saying that he should have been on the ball last night. He shouldn't have been checking on Cesaro and Sheamus. He should have had his eyes on the ring and prevented any kind of interference, and the fact that he didn't do that made them both look foolish. Foley then realizes what an idiot he was being and quickly apologizes to Stephanie McMahon. Up next, we got the Cruiserweights in some tag team action this week. The team of Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander versus Lince Dorado and Drew Gulak. I thought this was a really fun match and a nice change of pace from the rest of the show. Yet again this week, the standouts for me were Swann and Alexander. I love their fast-paced, high-risk style, and it's just really fun to watch. In the end, it was Rich Swann pinning Drew Gulak to pick up the win. Next up, we got Cesaro and Sheamus versus a bunch of fucking nobodies. Guess who won? Next up, Charlotte makes her way to the ring and then starts bragging about her victory over Sasha Banks and Bayley at Clash of Champions. Sasha Banks makes her way to the ring and demands a one-on-one title match. Charlotte accepts, but only for next week on Raw, and then Sasha Banks slaps her in the face and hits her with the Banks statement. Got some more Cruiserweight action coming at us next, this time a singles match between TJ Perkins, who, side note, has some of the coolest entrance music I've ever heard. It's all 8-bit sounding and shit, and I'm a gigantic fucking nerd, so I loved it. And Tony Nese. Now, I felt these guys continued the trend of the Cruiserweights having some of the more exciting matches on Raw. Really fun TV match here between the two. In the end, it was TJP picking up the win thanks to a knee bar submission. Next up, we got the highlight reel featuring the two bestest friends you have ever seen in your entire life, Kevin Owens and Chris JeriKO. But before we got to the highlight reel, for some reason, Hyde and Kelso appeared on the Titantron and said that they were better friends than JeriKO. Oh, I can guarantee you guys, next week on Raw, Hyde and Kelso are gonna get it. Now, after those stupid idiots were done talking, the highlight reel could finally start. But the cameraman made a fatal error. He did not film JeriKO on his good side. I mean, we can't all be like me, whose good side is every side. And that idiot cameraman made the list. Now JeriKO finally welcomes Kevin Owens to the highlight reel, and Owens goes on to say that he injured Seth Rollins and that it was redemption for all the men that Rollins ended up injuring. Men like John Cena, Sting, and Finn Balor. He then says that Rollins was the most dangerous man in WWE until Kevin Owens beat him, which made him the most dangerous man in the WWE. Now, it's at this point that Rollins had all kinds of sand in his vagina and felt the need to make his way towards the ring before he was stopped by a bunch of referees and fuckface Foley. Unfortunately, Enzo and Cass made their way out to the ring, or as I like to call them, Twiddle D and Twiddle Dumbass. There was a little bit of banter between JeriKO and Enzo and Cass, something about Santa Claus and sitting on each other's laps. and punching each other in the face. I don't know. It was really funny though. And this all led to the main event for this evening, JeriKO versus Enzo and Cass. As for the match itself, it was an Enzo and Cass match. What do you want me to say? You know, Enzo got his ass kicked for a while, and then Cass came in on the hot tag. Same shit every single time. One of the highlights for me in this match, you know, aside from JeriKO completely dominating Twiddle-Dee and Twiddle-Dumbass, was when Kevin Owens got up on the ring apron and mocked that little dance that Enzo does where it looks like Enzo is having a seizure. It never fails to get a laugh from me. Here, just if you haven't seen it before, take a look.
Quote unquote, be more respectful towards me. And Kevin Owens just mocking Enzo.
Oh my God, can we see it one more time? That's good stuff. In the end, it was my boy Kevin Owens hitting that scrub, that geek, that loser, Enzo Amore, with a powerbomb to pick up the 1, 2, 3 and the win for his team. And that's how we ended Monday Night Raw this week, with JeriKO on top of the mountain. So there you have it, guys, my Raw reactions for the week. I thought this week's show was pretty good. There was some good stuff peppered throughout the entire show, and it was way better than what we've been getting for the past couple weeks. So yeah, good show this week. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and tell a friend. It really does help out the channel. If you want to join the Broski Club, hit that subscribe button. Check me out on Twitter at MTLBroski. You can check out my Pro Wrestling Tees store at prowrestlingtees.com/FTITM. If you want great wrestling content and our podcast, check out kayfabetoday.com. And special mention this week on an interview done by one of our writers, Amanda Y. She had a sit-down interview with Jack Sexsmith. She put a lot of time and effort into this article, and it's a fantastic read. I'll leave a link down in the description so you guys can check that out. And until next Tuesday morning, guys, these have been my Raw reactions, first thing in the morning.